This will give me 1 minute. I'm going to share the link to the community site. And after that, we can get started. Okay, so ask for help. This is so, okay. Here is the circles live stream link. Almost now. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. I posted it. It's kind of nice. So, all right, this is a new thing we're doing. By the way, I apologize. I'm still too much light in here. How do I join office hour? Ask David. So there is a link that is community.draftbit.com/live/office hours. So everybody can go there, have a look. Rahul is there. So this is new, obviously. Usually we were using that Crowdcast and people could like RSVP. This is going to be a little bit different. The benefit for us is that while it integrates into Circle, which we already use as a community site to answer people's questions, users' questions, and if you visit the community.draftbit.com, you'll see the like call to action to just join the stream. So if you happen to be there, you'll see it right away. But anyway, David's there, David, Carl, hey guys. So this seems to be pretty well. Yeah, I was saying, I apologize for the, I'm trying to figure out a better like light situation. For those who've been following, I moved a month or two ago and I'm still figuring out the desk setup. Okay, but if you can try, it's a little annoying, right? It's distracting. It's distracting me at least. I don't know about you guys. If you can look past that, hey Carl. Let's get started. So if you have any questions, because this is a new platform, we used to have ask a question button. We don't have that anymore. We'll see if we're missing it. The chat is showing up for everybody. You don't see a message? Really? Do you have the chat drawer open? I see a hey message. Oh, that's odd. I can see mine. So that one. Okay, maybe it was just taking a second. I see them all now. Okay, maybe it was just a little delay. So if you do have a question, let's use the chat. Forget about the ask a question button for now, because we don't have it in this new platform. And just use the chat. Ask a question, ask away. And in the absence of question, when we're done with question, I'm just going to take the asks for help space questions one by one and try to answer those. So you can always use, I'm putting it here. Guys, I'm liking the UI so far. It's a little lighter, which I kind of like. It's a little more minimalist. There's not as many features, but as long as there is a feature you want, that's all that matters, right? So we'll see if we keep it on. Okay. Carl asked a question. Has anyone had issue with linear gradient and hiding overflow? I have a problem here. Let's look at the problem. I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to, let me close a couple of tabs. I'm going to share my screen. Window. For help. Okay. I like it. Can you call people up on screen? Yeah, I can invite you. Yeah, so that we've tried that yesterday. So I think we can do that. We'll see if we need to do that. Okay, so there's overflow. Can everybody see the screen? Yeah, there's overflow work for linear gradient. I have a linear gradient component that contains a view for an image that is positioned above the confines of the linear gradient. Oh, the overflow is set to visible, but the image is still cut off. I had this same setup with a normal view instead of linear gradient, and it worked. I expect the linear gradient to be the same as the view, but it's not. Ah, interesting. Interesting. By the way, I like the look of your app. I like where that's going. Look at the design. Making a lot of progress, Carl. It's impressive. I tried setting the view containing the image to invisible, which will lose the border radius effect, but that didn't change anything. Good question. All right, let's give that a try. Okay, we're gonna call it office hour March 10. So it's a linear gradient, and inside it is the image. Okay, let's try that. I haven't played a ton with linear gradients, so that'll be a good way for me to practice. So here's my linear gradient. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give it everywhere, so that way we can. Come on. Is it not? What? That may not work out. Why does the Wait, what am I doing wrong? Why is the margin not working out? Oh, because I have sort of things set up. Let me. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna do it slightly differently. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say 100, 200, okay. And we're gonna do it here. All right, so we've got a linear gradient, and inside there, Carlos wants to put an image. By the way, the linear gradient now, for those who haven't seen that, because that's a new feature, but we can now define the radius not only of all the corners, like this, or you can say, well, for the top one, I want a bigger corner. So you can see it's only for the top one, and the bottom one stays to whatever default is. So in this case, 30 or 15. You see? So that's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to leave that here. And so instead of putting the image inside the linear gradient, put in a view above the linear gradient in the tree and use a negative bottom margin for the image. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So first, I'm going to try to reproduce cast first, but then we're going to try this idea because that's a really good idea. Okay. So here's my image. I'm going to picture of myself. I should have more handy pictures as opposed to just pictures of myself. Seems a little egoistic, self-centered. Right, what's the right word? Okay. So first of all, we're going to make this one a little bit smaller. So we're going to do, okay, 50. So now I've got my image. And what I want to do is okay, so that essentially what Anna has, right? It's obviously ugly the way I'm doing it. It seemed like it would work. I'll give that a shot. And Carl's issue that it got cut off. Oh, there's also. So first of all, let's see if that works before we go any further. So it seems to be working on web. It seems to be working on Android. iOS is just a little slow. But one thing that I'm going to assume it works on iOS. One thing we haven't done, like I was trying to do, is put a radius on the image itself, which I haven't done. We're going to do that in a sec. As soon as we can make sure that iOS is working. iOS is not working. Okay, was it an iOS only issue? Doesn't show correctly where no display. It does show up. Okay, so it is the iOS issue. Okay, it is an iOS issue. Interesting. And so what you try to do overflow visible. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Position above the confine. Above. The overflow is set to visible, but the image is still cut off. Yeah. The same issue as a normal. If you do a normal view, that works. Interesting. Let's try that. I'm going to try that very quick. So here, instead of doing a linear gradient, I'm just going to put a view and get rid of that linear gradient. I know I'm kind of redoing a lot of what you've been doing, Carl, but I'm just kind of curious to see it work. And we're going to give it, okay, and we're going to give it like a color. Okay. And now we can also give it a margin. Okay. So how about that? Oh, shoot. Okay, let's see if it works with a view. So it works with a view on web. It worked with, so it has nothing to do with the radius of the image itself. It really just like an overflow issue. It works on Android, and it should work on iOS because that's what Cal was saying worked. Okay, so it worked here. Perfect. Okay, so it is indeed just the linear gradient. Okay, so this is a bug. We're going to look into it. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't think it's either like an index thing. Yeah. All right, we're going to look into that. Let's try what Dave suggested. So what if we have an image that is just above it? And we're going to reuse this. Okay, and so I hide this. So instead, what I'm going to do here, let me kill this. Okay, and the image is going to be, not this one, sorry. This one is going to be, so what if the margin, can I do it like this and just move that down? Yeah. So I can do this and essentially bring it down to where I want it to be. Okay, and then, I just need to do like, it's obviously ugly, but like the point is to try to make it work. 150. Okay, now is the index text gonna have to go up one just so it's above it. And now let's preview this. Let's see. Oh, I need to like go back, set up the right screen so we look at the right screen. Sorry about that. Tap to play. Okay, so web still works. We haven't changed anything. Let's look at Android and iOS. Okay, Android works, which is good. It was working before, so it's not bigger here. What about iOS? Come on, iOS. Okay, it works. So you can do, Carl is faster than me. Yeah, so you can do Dave's idea to put an image above it in the tree and just like put a negative margin bottom margin. It's not ideal, but like that will unblock you. And then we're gonna look into the overflow for iOS. It's a good bug you found. Okay, cool. Did that. I mean, it sounds like you guys are doing that in parallel, so I appreciate that. I'm going to assume that helped you guys. I helped you, Carl. Well, it was a good opportunity to show that kind of radio stuff that we've been working on. So this is a new release. So please go have a look, test it out, like change your margin, change everything, change your radiuses, sorry. Okay. With that said, we're going to move back to our community site. I'm going to try something new just so we know. I'm going to, while we do it, we discussed this during today's office hour. I'll share the recording shortly. Okay, just so if other folks are running into that, they know that something's coming and they don't have to like necessarily continue investigating. Okay, next question. Can't log in. Oh yeah, so Alberto, can you direct? Yeah, Alberto mentioned that he cannot log in. We ran into that issue a little bit a couple of days ago. It was a cookie issue for different environment we have, but not so much environment, but between our quote unquote marketing website and our platform. And we told it. So if you do run into it, close everything, do a hard refresh and try again. And if after you've done all that, clear the cache and try to relog in. If it's still happening, then let us know. But we think that we addressed it already. So please try that. And I'm going to do the same thing here with the rest of these questions during today's office hour. I'll share the recording shortly. I'm going to save that. Okay, I'm going to like this. Okay. Next, this one is resolved. Top of nav different between screen. Is that the one you were mentioning? I guess so, yeah. So that's the one Carl was mentioning. Top of nav different between screen. I want the top part of all the header to be transparent. One screen is, but the other aren't. The settings appear to be the same. So this is transparent. This is good. This is what Carls want. And bad, it should not be white. Okay. Yet I'm figuring out how to properly see that page. What was I thinking about it? The screen that's right is submit proof. I think almost all the other ones are wrong. Tree. turning off the header for a screen do the same thing as on, but not on most of the other. So turn on the proof navigator. Right, so the header mode is going to be per navigator. So if I look, we have those 2 pages now. I'm going to try to recreate that. So if I do like a tab navigator or stack navigator, well, actually, we do have the root navigator. So here, for those who don't know, there is the choice to remove the header, right? And then the header is gone, or to make it transparent. Now, I think in Carl's case, the header was none on the proof navigator, but not on the other. Wouldn't turning off the header for a screen do the same thing as on a navigator? What do you mean by turning off the header for a screen? Where do you... Yeah, I'm seeing your message, Carl. I think I'm seeing your message, the one that you referenced to this page. So actually, it's a good example. We're gonna do 2. We're gonna play with 2 different navigators and see what happens when you turn them on and off. So we're gonna make a couple more pages. This is gonna be my foo pages, screen, not page. All right, foo. Okay, this is gonna be my bar. Okay, put text. Okay, so now I have a couple of screen. So they're all part of the root navigator, and in the root navigator, I'm setting the header to none. So now I can see the header is gone. If I leave it, if I just don't do anything, it's going to be here. I can see like it's the title of the screen. Okay, so it can be float, screen, or none. So that's when you remove it. So what happens if then I have like a tab navigator where I put a couple of screen? Oh yeah, I don't have, that's for the tab. So it's only for the stack navigator. So let me try with the stack navigator. Okay, so now here we go. So the bottom tab navigator is going to be those little icon at the top, nothing to do with the top thing. This is another stack navigator that I can turn on and off. So what happens if I do a none on this one and I don't do a none on the other one? Well, let's find out. So for that though, I do need to put a bunch of links so we can go back and forth to all those places. So here. Okay, so this is going to be, well, sure, I'm going to need 3 actually. This is going to be my foo link, and it's going to navigate to foo. Okay, this one is going to be my blank, and it's going to navigate to my blank screen, and this one is going to be my blank copy, and it's going to navigate to blank copy. Okay, so now my bar is all done. I'm going to do the same thing in the blank. You know, it's a little tedious, but if you bear with me for a minute, we'll be able to test our assumptions. Okay, so foo is going to go to is going to go to the stack navigator and then the foo. Okay. Foo bar. And navigate to the stack navigator and bar in there. And finally, this is blank copy. Okay, and this one is going to navigate to blank copy. Okay, I'm just going to, from blank copy, I want to go back to blank. Okay, and for bar, I have all those links. Okay, so let's give that a try. So I'm at the bar, I want to go to blank. Okay, so this is kind of, let me even do it better. We're going to make sure we start from blank. Okay, so it is. This is blank. I can go to foo and I see the header. I go back to bar. When I go to bar, I see the header. I go to blank, I don't see it. So blank and blank copy don't have the header. But when I go to foo or bar, then I do see the header. So conclusion, every blank and blank copy are gonna have the header removed. It's gonna be none because they're part of that navigator. But if I have a navigator inside it who does not have the header mode false, I am going to show the header. All right. To be honest, I'm glad we did that because I was not necessarily 100% sure of that. So let's remove. Okay, so, but I can turn off the header on the stack navigator. Turn off. Ultimate goal, I want no header on the default page of a stack navigator. Then the other page to have the header. So I can just remove the header at the stack level, except for the submit proof screen, because it's the only one in the stack. So Carl, tell me if that will do. So like at the root navigator, we got rid of the header. So you're not gonna have the white space. But when we go into a substack navigator, then you're gonna see it. Does that address what you wanted to do? And while you answer, I'm gonna make sure that it works. Okay, so that's, okay. It might, yeah. Let's see what Carl says. It might not be the most obvious, but essentially blank and blank copies don't have navigator, don't have header, and foo and bar do have header. So see, okay, so here it works. So it's gone. Bar has the header, that's good, that's what you would expect. Blank copy does not. Okay. Now what about iOS? So foo, clicked on it, takes a second. Okay, so foo has a header, it's good. Going back, I don't know why it's so slow, but essentially that works. Wait, can you have the header on the stack navigator, but off on one of the foo and bar screen? Yes. Can you have the header on? Yeah. So can you have the header on the stack navigator, but off on one of the foo and bar screen? Yeah. So let's try that. So that means the top you want it on. So I'm going to just not turn it to off. And then in the foo and bar screen, I'm going to set it to none. Okay, so now foo and bar should not have the header, but the stack navigator should. Right? Let's give that a try. So yeah, stack navigator has it. It's turned on. And when I get foo, oh, I think I might understand what you're getting at. When I get a foo, not only you don't want the header for the substack, but you want to remove the header for the top one, right? Huh, is that's the case? You want the substack navigator to remove not only its own header, but remove the parent header? Is that what you're trying to achieve? And if so, that's a good question. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky. That's gonna be very, very tricky. Trying to enable the screens. I save this. By the way, let me try one more thing while we're here. So, what if I don't turn it off here, but I turn it off at this level, at the screen level? Now the foo should not have it. Did that make a difference? So bar has it, foo does not have it. So now you can dissociate between specific screen, but I still don't have good way to tell the parents to go away. Root off, stack off. Oh, wait. You say root off? I thought you just said, can you have the header on the stack navigator? But okay. All right, so let's try again. Root off. Stack on. Throw on. Yeah, that's right. It looks pretty bad. Pretty fast now. Now I'm legit. I mean, it was super helpful to me to go through all those examples, but I'm legit confused overall. So you don't want it on the roof. So let's try to just do one by one. So you don't want it here. So we're going to remove it on the roof. You want stack on. So you do want it on the stack. So it's good. It stays here. And then you want the foo off or on. Okay, well, we're going to do the foo off and the bar on. That way we can compare, right? So what happened when we do this? Okay, so the root is off. So there's no roof. Sorry, root. So you don't see the top. When I go to foo, everything is off because the stack is on. Oh, you wanted the stack on. Yeah, but the stack is linked like it's so confusing. This like essentially when you set foo and bar, you are overriding what you put in the stack navigator. So if you leave it here but you remove it on the foo, it's going to be gone, right? So yeah, I know that there's two things you can do. You can't in the foo and bar change the root navigator setting, the parent setting, and you can't but like what would that even mean to us? The stack on but the foo off? Like stack is only foo is in stack. Like you'll only see the header when you get to the foo of the bar. You don't really get to the stack screen, right? I can have foo on. Right now I can have foo on, but if it's off, the stack shows up as blank. I'll tell you what, Carl, in the interest of time, and I know you have it in your app, but if you want to put together an example, just like 3 screen with a navigator in an app, outside of your regular app, just so we kind of limit the scope and don't mess up with the stuff, we can take a look at that just to make sure we understand that correctly. But hopefully I covered some of the limitations that we have and some of the options that you have. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, let me try to move on to another question, and I'll get back to it a little later if we have a little bit of time. Here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share that. Okay, sweet. So going back to ask for help. See the top navigation. Okay. Saving custom block. Okay, I think this one might have. Can you send me a link to the screen app so I can take a look? I'm trying to save a UI sub through the custom block so I can use it on the screen. Actually, the same one does not go away. It doesn't. Yeah, we do have a bug regarding saving custom blocks. So it looks like Dave is taking a look at it. I'm sorry. This is something we are aware and working on. Okay, browser-based authentication. Let's see. Okay, browser-based authentication. Hello. Is there a way to implement a native browser authentication, maybe an Expo auth session? I read here that this method is good practice for authentication. Has anyone tried doing something like this with Draftbit? An example of a French app using browser-based authentication. If you have any idea of implementation, let me know. Okay, one sec. I know a couple people try with Google Auth, but weren't successful. I think someone else was able to get Reddit Auth working though. Might be that it's easier possible to implement with a certain provider. Give it a try and let us know if you have any success. Okay, so a couple of stuff. Right. So I got kind of confused by the browser base. So essentially, Paul, what you're trying to do is OAuth, right? You want to connect with OAuth. Is that fair to say? Like you want to be able to connect with, I guess that's not exactly what we're trying to do. Are you trying to connect with like your Facebook account, or GitHub account, or your Slack account? And so the user does not have to create a new credentials. If that's the case, so I'm going to talk about the other options, but if that's the case, if what you guys are trying to do is OAuth, we do have here, let me find my note quick, because we did a kind of investigation OAuth. I myself built an app, a Draftbit app that was able to connect, you were able to connect into the app with Slack and GitHub. So if you guys, if that's what you or somebody else is interested, let us know. It worked with, just the TLDR is that it works with it works with Expo auth session. You have to write a little bit of code that is given to you by the Expo. So it's a little bit of a low code solution. It's not completely no code. It works if you use Expo to publish your app. And the main challenge was that you need a redirect URI. So, you in your OAuth configuration, you're gonna go to whatever Slack URL is to do the OAuth, and then you're gonna have to provide Slack or whoever your provider is a link back to your app, right? And so to do that, first of all, some provider let you enter like a scheme, like so you can do like a deep linking. You can do like your app :// or you have to provide an HTTPS : / kind of format. At the time we didn't quite have deep linking, so I had to use the Expo proxy in order to make the OAuth work. So anyway, those are kind of just caveats. So if you're interested in that, in the OAuth, reach out to me, because like I said, we've done a little bit of research. We want to do more. It's an important feature, and so we want to collaborate with people to make sure we address the right use case. Okay, so that's my answer for OAuth. it could be that you're trying to do something slightly different. And I'm trying to like extrapolate just by looking at the screenshot. Shout out to EDF, by the way. EDF et moi. So it looks like it's opening a different web page. So you're going to connect. It's kind of like it's going to open a web view. You're going to connect to that web view. So you're not doing an OAuth thing per se. You really you're going to have to create your account and all of that. I guess you can do that. The challenge is going to be how do you, I guess once you're logged in, how do you inform your app that you were logged in? Like, where do you exchange some kind of token? And so I'll start with a meta question. Why not do the connection or the authentication in the app? Like, why not have a email and password in your app and do like API request to connect? So we do that. That's kind of the main use case we do. Like, for example, I have an app that I authenticate with Xano, and what I do is that I have a couple of text fields for username and password, and I do an API request to Xano, and Xano returns an API token, an auth token that I save in the app, and then I use that auth token for subsequent requests that I want to make as an authenticated user. So my question to you is, what's wrong with that? And I don't mean that in an aggressive way. There might be something wrong with that. I would just like to know what it is so we can try to address it. Yeah, that'd be it. So either it's an OAuth thing, in which case please reach out to me. We can work together on that, or it's a web-based authentication, which I would like to understand the use case. Like, why not just do that in the app? All right, I hope that helps. I'll share the video. I'll make a note here, and I'll share the video shortly. That's interesting, though. Paul, let me know, because everything around authentication is important for us. And so if you have a different use case, we genuinely want to hear about it. Okay, so during that time, perfect timing, during that time, Carl was able to make a dummy app of the navigation issue. So let's take a look. Here, I'm going to open it up here. Oh, you're the best. Look at that. Just in a couple of minutes now. We have an example. Okay, so we've got, you know what, Carl? Do you want to come on stage, Carl? That works. And you can walk us through that little app you made. Yeah, I'll invite you and you'll decide. Don't feel pressured, only if you're interested. Okay, so I'll see if you respond to that invitation. It looks like it's a phone issue. Android and iOS both show an empty area at the top of the screen. Oh, okay. I'm starting to wonder if it can be related to something else, particularly around Safe View, which we've done some improvement on lately. So while we'll wait to see if you join, let me try to make sense of your example. So header on, I'll just preview it, see what happens. Okay, this is the web. So something else here. So header is on, and then go to header is off. Okay, on, off. Okay, so that makes sense so far. What am I looking at here? There is a root navigator, a stack navigator. So the root navigator is as none. The stack navigator is not defined, and this one is on, and this one's on. Hey, Carl, I think I can hear you.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can't see you just yet. You don't have.
There we go.
I'm assuming everybody can see you, but folks, if you can't see Carl, let me know. Okay, so what are we looking at? Walk me through it.
Okay, so
I'll stop sharing. Do you want to share your screen?
yeah, I can share mine. All right, can you see mine screen?
Nope, not yet. I had an issue myself sharing the screen the very first time I played with it, so maybe.
I'll try sharing my whole screen. It might be weird because we'll see ourselves. No, it doesn't look like that worked either.
Yeah, like I said, I ran into that yesterday myself. I'll share the screen and you'll just walk me through it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm looking at the header off. Well, do you want to tell me? Let's look at the preview and you can tell me what the end goal is, right?
Yeah, and maybe do a refresh. There should be a third page in there.
Okay. Let me have refresh. Yeah, good looking screen. Okay. So I'm going to start with the previews. Oh no, this one doesn't go anywhere anymore. Go to off.
Go to off. Oh, yeah, it's working for me.
Really? Hit it off. Hit it off. Okay. I don't know why.
It looks like it might be. It works fine on web views, but on Android and iOS, I think that's the issue. There's always an empty space at the top. Like,
okay, so wait, just to make sure. So this is what you want, right? Like having the header on. Okay.
Yeah, so no header. There's no white space up on top for off. It looks nice. Right. And then if you go to either go to Apple Preview or iOS.
Oh, thank you, Rebel, for letting us know. We can see us.
Okay, so that's fine, header on. And now go to off. See that white stuff, white bar at the top? That's what is gone if you have the Stack Navigator header turned off. The blue would just go straight up to the top, which looks nice.
So like, you don't want that white.
Right. So now go to the good looking screen on iOS and you'll see what it looks like when it's nice. See? It goes all the way up to the top.
Okay. And what is the difference? So how did you make the difference between those?
It's outside of the Stack Navigator.
Outside of the Stack Navigator. So it could be that here in off. Okay. So it very well could be that I was just reading that tooltip earlier. When you hide it, we turn the safe area view on for you automatically. And like safe area view, you might know. For people who don't know, it is essentially just the system making sure that it's putting extra space so you can still see like the clock and the battery and all that, and you're not getting. So like as much as you say that good looking screen is great because it goes all the way, it's also very risky because different device are gonna have different like stuff on top. Some will have a notch, some won't. So it will be up to you to then deal with all those edge cases if you have it like that, which is fine. Just something to be aware of. But it seems like maybe we turn it off, we turn it on by default instead of giving you a choice, which is not great.
Maybe that's it.
And because a little bit a few days ago, what we did is we added these like advanced settings here. So you now have like safe area view, So you can say, yeah, I wanted that extra space. So for example, if you look at your good looking screen, I bet that if I turn safe area view on, it won't be as good looking anymore, but that would be the point, right? Let's try it on iOS. And if that's the case, then we should really not do it automatically for you. And we should just tell people like, come here and do it if you really want it. To be fair, most people want it, but you have a good point. Like sometimes you don't, and you want that control. Let's see if that's what's going on. Does that make sense, or am I just rambling? And
yeah. I looked
at
the actual Spotter app, and one of the pages did have top safe area view turned on. So I just switched that in the Expo's loading, so that might be it. And I think I changed it in the demo app you're on too.
Right. So was that the good screen? It doesn't seem like it's a good screen.
Oh, safe area views on that screen. Good
right.
Screen.
That's why.
Because you just okay.
Because that's why I wanted to test, but it doesn't look like we're on the right screen. Oh, I guess.
Try header off.
On the right screen. All right. Let me just, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add a little label so I know I'm looking at the right thing. Okay, so yeah, that screen should have. Oops, sorry, 1 sec. Okay, so the safe area view is on. So now when I preview it, it's gonna have that space, which you don't want, but some people do, and we should not do it automatically to people and tell them to come here. Yeah, so now you have that space, and if I turn that off, it goes back to your good looking screen, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
So the issue, so that's great, you can control it here, but the issue is that you don't have that control for those two because you've like make the setting here and we did something for you automatically, it seems. Is that correct? Or does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. So here you hide. Is there, like, do you sometimes want the screen to have it, sometimes not? Could you turn it off, the header, every time for that stack? Or does that not work for you?
No, yeah, because the stack, so basically the stack, I want the default screen that it goes to have no header. And then every other page to have a header.
Got it. Okay.
So I just changed the top area safe view on the home screen in Spotter, and I think it's working. So it's like the top safe area view was automatically turned on.
Oh.
But I turn that off.
Oh, okay. It was on. Okay.
It's good. So in the demo app, I think, yeah, I think we're good to go there too. Good looking screen, turn safe area view off, just so all of them are off. And I think that works. Header on.
But I still, safe area view. I would still expect this page, the header off. Let me do one more thing. Oop. Header off. Okay, and I'm going to make it very explicit. So I still want the header off. What if I want the header off page to go all the way to the top?
Right now, I think it is because that top area view was turned off. Yep. Well, oh yeah, it's on iOS. We'll have to see.
So we don't have it here, but my assumption or my hypothesis was that we turn it off because of that other setting. We turned it on because of that other setting. Let's find out. Oh, maybe that other setting. turn it on here, not in a hidden way. Like, oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
So I want to check one more thing.
Okay.
That's header off. So if I come here and I remove it here, so we're not hiding it, did that change? So that changed nothing here. And if I go back and now like hide it, did that change it? Oh, here we go. It did that by default. See what I mean? Like when you do that other toggle, sorry, in that other section, when it says in the text like, hey, we're doing this for you, this is what we're doing, which is actually good because at least you still have the option to like undo it. We're not doing something secret. But so it did that for myself without me doing it, which again is good because it now gives me the opportunity to turn it off if I don't want to. Okay. Oof.
Yeah. So yeah, so everything works. If you want the header turned off on these pages, it's good to have a warning like, hey, heads up, it might go above. But then to fix that, you would just go to that screen and add padding at that to the top component.
Yeah.
So it pushes it down enough if you want to.
Yeah.
Not
the
have
padding,
a
just
bar.
so you know, the padding is going to be different for every device and every platform and all. So it's really that's what the Safari of View does. It's trying to be smart. So depending on the device, you put the right space. I agree that from a design point of view, it's not always good, but just letting people know that if you put a padding, it's going to be the same on every device, and it might have different look.
Yeah, I wonder how large that varies.
You probably save. I mean, I don't know what your design looks like, but if it's like to put an image, sometimes you see like a big like hair image. I think that's fine if you put a pretty large.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Cool.
All right. Super glad we're able to fix that. Thank you very much, Carl.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. See ya. I don't know how to kick you out.
Yeah.
So you might have to stay forever.
I'll just mute myself and.
Oh wait, no, I know how to kick you out. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Carl. Bye bye. We're learning the new platform. Sweet, that was cool. All right, and we are at time, but I'm so glad we did this. It helped a lot. So I forgot which. Oh, yeah, that was going back to these questions. Sweet. So I think we're done. Let's see if we can do maybe one more. If it's quick, is there a way to close a model by tapping outside of the model area? It's a great question. There is no way to do that just yet. I'm gonna use that opportunity to do a very quick demo of the model for those who don't know what you can do with model. But essentially, your question, Gabriel, is not quite yet. So let's say I have a button here, and then I have a model, and in that model I have a text. Okay, and so that model is going to be, I'm going to create a variable, screen variable, and I'm going to call model on. Show model, a little bit more explicit. It's a Boolean. False at first. Okay. So now here, and now I should see show model, so it's going to be off by default. Okay, and then that button is going to be show model. Okay, and what it's going to do when I click on it, it's going to set the variable show model to true. Now if I preview that, see now, well, so I clicked on it, then I showed the model. There is a lot of things you can do to make that interaction a bit nicer. You can make it slide from the top. You can make it transparent and have a nice like blurred background around it. So a bunch of stuff you can do. to make it very nice with user doing very cool stuff with that. But from a functionality point of view, this is how it works. And then in the model, you can also have a button to then hide the model. Oh, sorry, it's not hide. And then what that does is going to set the same variable to false. Okay. Now web preview. Oh, I'm low on battery. So show, hide, show, hide. But the one thing you cannot do, I guess maybe you could, yeah. So if your model is, for example, just taking, yeah, let's do this. We're gonna call it 100% here, but it's just gonna be 200 here. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Why am I still it's something I'm not doing right, and I forgot what it is. Oh, maybe it's like, yeah, the model is essentially just going to show, but then it's a matter of making that view kind of smaller. No, oh, I forgot. How do we do that properly? Let's see. Okay, so I don't. Oh yeah, I know what I mean. Okay, so let's say, yeah, we have the model that just show like middle of the screen. What Gabriel is trying to do is like, what if I like, can I click outside of the model to close it? And we don't have a way to do that yet. That's what I meant. You can have a little X button that does the same thing as the hide button. But yeah, the clicking out of it doesn't work just yet. Maybe what in the future, what we could consider is for the model in the actions, maybe you can have a trigger that's like click outside of it. And then when that happens, you can run a action stack. And in this case, you will set the variable to false and it will make the model disappear. But yeah, it's a good suggestion. I'm trying to think if there's a way you can fake it for now, but it's going to be tricky. I guess one way is you could have the model take the entire screen and have like the top part of the screen be transparent, but essentially be like a fake, be like a button, and people click on it. They might not realize, but they're actually clicking in that part of the model. Oh, that sounds cool. Can I try to do that? Okay, let's try that. I bet we're gonna go over a little bit again, and I'm not really confident that we're gonna succeed, but I'm curious to try. So let me do a bunch of stuff quick. Okay, so we have a screen that is, I'm gonna put a little text. Oh, that is gonna be ugly, but I'm trying to, I'm trying to see if from functionality point of view, I can get it to work. Okay, so this is just gonna be cool. And then they're gonna be a show. Then my model. which is going to be sliding, transparent. I forgot what the presentation style is. Let's assume we don't need that. Okay, and then there's the view. And it's just going to be, I'm not even going to use that. What I'm going to do is use the absolute positioning. Okay, so let's see what happened when we do this. Let's try it simple. Okay, so now I have my model here. By the way, I'm going to put a color on that model so we know. All right, show. Okay, so this is my model. You know, title and a button to close it, and it slides from the top. You might not see because my screen is a little too small, but it slides from the top. And what you want to do is able to click here. So in order to do that, what if we faked it by saying in that model, I'm going to have a view at the top. I'm gonna make it very ugly, but again, just functionality wise. So it's going to be position absolute. It's going to be 0, 500, 0, 0. I put a color on that too, just so we can see where it is. Okay, so essentially all that top part of it. 500, 0, 500. I'm not sure why the 500 doesn't go. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, you'll obviously have to like make it the right size, but oh, did I go too far? Oh yeah, I did go too far. Because those are not size, those are anyway, I'm getting into detail now. Doesn't matter. Let's say you essentially put the right view, and in that view you can what if you put like a touchable? It's gonna be tricky. What if you put the view inside the touchable? How about that? Now my yeah, I'm getting a little hacky here. Because I put the touchable now, I've lost essentially my view, which is not great. I don't know why I lost it. Yeah, I don't know why I lost it. Just by putting a touchable. I would expect that to still do the job. Pointer auto. Oh yeah, so actually, okay, I think I'm getting somewhere. Give me 1 sec. So, okay, so now if my touchable, I'll do it and we'll see if it works. My touchable says set the variable of the show model to false. All right, let's see if that worked. Now, see, now I have my model and I can click on top here and make it disappear because I've essentially in the model, I have like faked an area at the top that has a touchable. We don't really need the text that I can click on, and it's transparent, so you're not really noticing that you're clicking on it, but when you click on it, you make the model disappear. So that's one way. It's not great, but essentially it's all about creating that extra space. You have to recreate the space yourself and make it that when you click on it, you make the model disappear. So that's one way to do it. Yeah, hopefully it helps. I'll make a little note and I'll share the video. that's how you could quote unquote hack it until we support a more like built-in way of doing it. That's it. We can. Oh no, were you not able to see my screen this whole time? Oh my god, you were not able to see my screen this whole time. No. Oh man. All right, that's stable, but that's what it looks like. I'm so sorry. So I have a model, I have a view just with whatever text, and I was able to create that touchable area view like on top here. So it's very ugly, but the outcome is that this is a screen with a title and a show button. When you click on it, you see a model, and you can hide it inside the model, but you can also click around here, which is an area I have reconstructed that I've created with that touchable in that view here. So when I click on it, I set the